Oh, we are filming. Okay, good. Hi, this video is gonna be interesting for multiple reasons. Today I'm doing another Q&A video because it's been a while since I've done one of those. And also, I recently hit 60K, and so I thought this would be a fun thing to do in commemoration of 60K. I did this, I think, when I hit 10K, I did a Q&A, and then I thought, you know, it was a good time for a new one. As you can tell by my very sexy, raspy voice, I'm sick. So that is a thing. I'm gonna do my very best. Hopefully, I don't have, like, sick brain anymore. I probably still do. Also, fun fact, I have my voice acting class later today, so I'm gonna be going in with this sick voice. The other thing that you probably noticed is that I have my phone right here, and my audio probably sounds very different, and my voice is probably louder, and the quality is very different from normal. That is because I use my phone as a microphone, but since this is a Q&A video, I also need my phone because I have all of the questions saved onto said phone. So I'm just gonna be like talking to my phone. So it's gonna be an interesting video. I'm just gonna shut up and we're gonna answer some questions. Obviously, right before I get into it, thank you guys so much for 60K. Really appreciate it. That's super crazy. Over halfway to 100K. That is insane and I really appreciate it. And I honestly have like the best viewers I could ask for. You guys are always so positive and supportive and understanding, and you know, my comment section, it's very rare that I get anything like rude or malicious or anything. You guys are always so unbelievably positive, and I could not be more thankful. I'm also a very sensitive being, so one of the things that I was most worried about doing YouTube was getting mean comments, because they do mess with me. I am probably like the last person who should have a YouTube channel just because I'm so incredibly sensitive. So that said, I do seriously appreciate how kind all of you have been, and you guys have made this basically like community, the Panda Fam, Panda Faces community, such a safe and like kind place. And so I greatly appreciate it. I don't have to feel like super scared putting up a new video because I know that like basically like all the comments are gonna be super nice. So you guys are fantastic. You guys are always super supportive, and I greatly appreciate that. So thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for being such an awesome part of my life, and I look forward to seeing what the future here on YouTube has to offer for us here in the Panda Fam. All that said, let's get into some questions. We're gonna start off with Patreon. I gave my patrons first crack at asking questions. So I have a question on Patreon from Bailey, who said, what's your favorite wig or wig company you have ever used? And also they said really sweet things. Thank you so much for your very sweet comment. That's really nice. To answer your question, my favorite wig is this one that I wear pretty much all the time. My favorite wig company that I have used, definitely Arda. Arda is always my go-to with wigs. I live by, swear by Arda wigs. Not sponsored by Arda Wigs, but if they ever did want to sponsor me, I would not be opposed, but I'm not cool enough for that. But anyway, I love Arda Wigs. I always buy my wigs from Arda Canada. Thank you for your question, for being so sweet, and for being a patron. I really appreciate it. Now we're gonna go over to Instagram, and I'm gonna do my best to get through as many questions as possible, but obviously time will not permit for that, so I'm gonna do my best. Oh, and I realized that unfortunately these are all gonna be anonymous just because of me taking these from like the question feature on Instagram rather than like through comments. So I do apologize for that. I didn't realize that until literally right now, but all of you guys will hopefully know who you are based on the questions that I'm answering. So first question from Instagram is character you cosplay that you can relate to the most, please. I'm probably gonna have to go with Tracer. She's quirky, she always likes to do good, she loves her friends, and she's very upbeat most of the time. Whenever I cosplay her, I just feel like that's a very natural fit in terms of how I act. What famous cosplayer would you want to meet and or do a collab with? That's a great question. Gosh, there are so many. I mean, like right off the bat, y'all remember my Leon Shiro story time? It would be super cool to get to do like Megan Herc with him. That's obviously never gonna happen, but you know, if I magically had the opportunity, that would be super dope and I would die. I'd love to do a collab with Zombie, who is just fantastic and such a wonderful role model within the cosplay community. I really admire her work. I admire how positive she keeps the cosplay community and just how awesome she is. So I would love the opportunity to collaborate with her. Alice and Tabitha. who is an incredible, just like every cosplay she does is incredible, but she does an incredible Widowmaker, and the opportunity to do like Widowmaker and Trace together would be like amazing, and I would die. She is also a fantastic role model within the cosplay community. She has amazing work, and she again keeps the cosplay community such a safe and positive place, so I really admire her for that reason. Abby Pop, who is one of like my favorite YouTubers, she's super cute and does super cute cosplays. It'd be really cool to get to collaborate with her, and I'd really love to get to collaborate with Tamara Lynn Chambers. She's super cool, and she's again such a positive influence, such a positive part of the cosplay community and like online community in general, and it's just like a super cool and funny person. So we've talked about it, you know, we should collab, we should make like a video together sometime, and I'm like, yeah, you know, we should cosplay. So hopefully someday that could happen. It would just be cool to collaborate with everybody because collaboration is fun. Are there any characters you love but would never cosplay? Absolutely. I love Shigo from Kim Possible. I would not ever cosplay her, like at least not her like actual like canon like bad version. She does have like her good version, which I actually have the cosplay for, but it's back in my hometown, so hopefully I can get it sometime and actually wear it because I never got to wear it. But yeah, Shigo in like her, you know, signature bad outfit is not a cosplay I'd ever do. I'm not comfortable doing evil characters, morally bad characters, so I do adore Shigo. I would never feel comfortable cosplaying her as an evil character. And then another character who I've been on the fence about for a long time is Evelyn Dever, who I freaking love to pieces. I love her. I love Evelyn. I am the biggest Evelyn apologist you will ever meet. First of all, before anybody says anything, I know it's a pun. I know it's supposed to sound like evil endeavor. I know that, okay? But like, I've been on the fence because as far as I'm concerned, I could go off on this, but that's a totally different tangent. The way that I view her, she's definitely like the antagonist of that particular story, but she is not an evil character or like a villain. Like everything that she does is, if you think about it, it's not in her own self-interest like it is with Syndrome. She's doing all of this in an effort to kind of save society. And like, even if you like listen to like screensavers rants and all that stuff, like you really see this, like it's all in an effort to try and like save everyone else from going through the same tragedy that her family has gone through. I don't know, like she's very like, I don't know, it depends on who you ask, right? And so I'm not really comfortable like cosplaying an evil character, but like I don't really view her as necessarily being evil, but I know that some people do. I kind of go back and forth, and I don't know if it's something that I'd be 100% comfortable with. It's very hard to explain. Yeah, so anyway, that's kind of like 1.5 answer. Ooh, next one was, what is your first fandom? I feel like you probably mean my first fandom that I was in since knowing what a fandom was. And I don't really know what that is, but my first fandom, as far as I can remember, this was long before I think the word even probably existed. My first fandom of my entire life was Arthur. I was a huge Arthur fanatic. I had all the games. It was all I would ever talk about for much of my childhood, and it's still a show that I really have close to my heart today, and I think you are never too old to watch Arthur. It really holds up, except for the newer episodes. We don't talk about the newer episodes when they change the animation style and just, it's bad. What is your natural hair color? My natural hair color is blonde. You can see it in my Adora cosplay. You can see it in my Bee cosplay. I am a blonde. How was Mystery Skulls live? I am so glad you asked. What a great question. So glad that somebody asked. That's awesome. Mystery Skulls live was amazing. It was my first time going into a bar and going into a club. Crazy. It was magical. When he played Ghost, when he played Paralyzed, when he played Magic, when he played Hellbent, I got so flippin' emotional, man. It was so magical getting to see him perform live. It was a very kind of full circle experience, you know. Which cosplay are you currently most excited about? It's this one. Who's your absolute favorite fictional character? One character who resonated with me so much as a kid and continues to resonate with me as an adult is Ingrid Third, which is probably not an answer that most of you guys expected, mostly because it's like a really obscure show that she's from. Ingrid Third is from this amazing show called Fillmore. It's a very underappreciated cartoon. Highly recommend checking out. It is one of my absolute favorite cartoons of all time, and I love Ingrid. When I was a kid, I couldn't get over how like cool and smart and badass and capable she was, and just so like, oh, I can't even like describe it. She is everything, and watching the show as an adult, I feel the exact same way. Oh, she's everything I look for in like a role model of a character. I love her, so yeah. Ingrid third. What's one thing about the cosplay community you love and what thing you think needs to change? One thing that I love about the cosplay community, and somebody actually commented about this on my recent ECCC vlog, was the amount of camaraderie. I love that. I love just like the support and camaraderie. Like there's nothing more uplifting and like wonderful and magical about chatting to your fellow cosplayers and like supporting one another and goofing around with one another and like nerding out over series with one another. It's just such a magical feeling, and I think it's hard to describe, but I think anybody who's experienced it knows exactly what I'm talking about. Going to a convention and, you know, having that happen, it's always this wonderful reminder of how loved you are and how cared about you are and how supported you are. So that's absolutely my favorite thing about the cosplay community. There's a lot of things that needs to change, but definitely, like right off the bat, elitism. There's bullying. Bullying, it's awful, and it sucks because we're all in this community because we're all nerds, and pretty much the vast majority of us were bullied in school, and so this is supposed to be like, you know, kind of a safe haven where like like-minded people can come together. And so to have bullying happening in that kind of a community is really upsetting. There is definitely a toxic side to the cosplay community, and I really wish that there wasn't, because it should be a safe haven for everyone. What's your favorite pig out food? That is a wonderful question. I am always a sucker for like a super cheesy mac and cheese with a crunchy topping. That's the like magnum opus of mac and cheese for me. It's a very rare delicacy for me because I don't have like the time or like the money to make it myself because cheese is really expensive, so I usually just do like the quick stuff out of the box. But like if I have the opportunity to have like a nice lovingly homemade mac and cheese with extra cheese, extra sauce, and then that like nice crunchy panko topping, that's my favorite pig out food. That is like, beautiful. Can you show your natural hair? Do you have a special way to get it all under a wig? So there's my natural hair. There is my natural hair. A lot of people ask about this. I've talked about it in the past. I show it in like cosplays. I've shown it on like my Instagram story, but usually, you know, like my face is blocked out. Basically, I like to change my appearance as much as possible when I'm online, just for the sake of privacy. I'm very uptight about privacy. So I wear a wig because obviously that changes my appearance a lot, and I always have makeup on. So if you do see my natural hair, I'll have a crap ton of makeup on, or my hair will be styled in a way that I don't usually wear it. I know a lot of people will probably be like, hey, that's like not really a realistic way of like hiding your identity, which like fair to think that, but it makes me feel more comfortable. So that's why I don't show my natural hair in videos, because I kind of like to show it rarely, just, you know, again, for the sake of privacy and kind of like masking what my natural everyday appearance is. And again, that's why you guys will never see me without makeup when I post stuff. But yes, I mean, in and of itself, showing my natural hair is not a big deal, right? Like if you look at like my old DeviantArt, it's all over the place. You can see my natural hair. You see it on my Instagram stories. So yeah, that's the whole spiel about my natural hair, because I do get asked that a lot. And do I have a special way to get it all under a wig? Yes. So I part it down the middle, and then I do 2 braids on each side, and then I take those braids and I pin them up on kind of not like the top of my head, but kind of like slightly towards the back of my head, just because that's where most wigs have like a natural pocket for hair to fit into. And then I just pin them up there, and then I put my wig cap over top. How did little Anya learn to sew, and how do you budget your cosplays? Thank you. I basically just always stick to the discount bin. That's kind of my way to do it. And then if there's nothing that will work back there, I very reluctantly move forward towards the regular price stuff. But yeah, I always look to get things on sale whenever I'm looking for a new wig. My first stop is always the Arda clearance bin. I'm very reluctant to pay full price for items, so I always look for ways to like get things on sale. That's my main thing. And I always pay attention to like the time over money method, which I'm gonna do a whole video on like saving money on cosplays, which basically I talk about like the time over money method. So I'll get more into that later. How did I sew my cosplays? My late mother taught me how to sew. She's a very supportive, very avid cosplay mom. What's been the most infuriating thing someone has assumed about you because you cosplay? Definitely that like I'm okay being sexualized. It's very common to just view cosplay as like an inherently sexualized thing, which is absolutely not the case. I talk about that in my common misconceptions about cosplay video, which I'll have linked up there if you want to see me diving to that point a little bit more. Oh gosh, you can see me getting infuriated right now. Just because someone cosplays does not mean that they're okay being sexualized. Everybody's different in their comfort zone. Obviously, there are a lot of cosplayers who are totally cool being seen in like a very sexualized way, like they're totally comfortable with that. It makes them happy, like that's great, but that is not the case for everyone. And it's so frustrating and like so so disrespectful to clump everybody together and just be like, oh, you're a cosplayer, you must be okay being sexualized. That could be a whole video on its own, so I'll just kind of stop it there because I could just go on and on. But yeah, definitely that was the most infuriating thing. What's your favorite movie? Probably at this point, Hercules. You know, pretty obsessed. Very obsessed. In fact, I have so much Hercules merch just like all over the damn place. Like this, it's just on my desk. Anime Fest Czech Republic planned anytime soon? No, unfortunately no. I'd love to be able to, you know, just get up and travel to many different places. Unfortunately, you know, just like probably all of you guys watching, traveling overseas is very expensive and not financially possible. I work a minimum wage job, so it's not something that I can feasibly do. The conventions that I go to are always the ones that are in around my area because those are the most feasible ones to go to. That said, if there's anybody who you want to meet at a convention near you, it's best to approach the convention itself. They'll have like a specific person that you can email, or if not, you can just send an email to kind of their general query address and you can request a person as a guest. If there's enough interest in a certain cosplayer to be a guest at X convention, the convention will then get in touch with the cosplayer, invite them as a guest, and then the deal becomes that the convention will pay for their hotel and travel and all of those expenses, and then in exchange the cosplayer does work for the convention, so they'll host panels, host competitions, be a contest judge, and all that good stuff. That's the best way to make that happen. Yeah, but anyway, it'd be really cool to get to meet you guys. That is all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted their questions. Really appreciate it, and again, really appreciate your guys' support. Thank you again so much for 60K. You guys are awesome. You guys really appreciate it. Thank you for making this such a safe and comfortable little corner of the internet. Again, that's something that I'm so incredibly grateful for. And I also want to give a shout out to all of my June patrons. I had a bunch of new patrons over on Patreon last month. So shout out to all of you guys. Your lovely names will be running across the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for your support. Again, super appreciated. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, for hanging out with me today. I feel like I said thank you like 5 billion times in this video, but I am very thankful for you guys. I will see you guys next time. But until then, Panda Faces, please be sure to take care. Bye.